My dear, it was a juggernaut. One of those huge things from the continent. Of course, I had to make sure the road was clear before I could overtake, and that I had sufficient acceleration. That's very important.
This was your first lesson?
Oh, yes. Mind you, that wasn't as bad as putting me in town in the middle of the rush hour, and I did think that was a bit unfair. Mind you, when all's said and done, all one has to do is keep one's head and look out for the bad driver. I must admit I had a bad moment at a very busy crossroads. I had to stop and start again before I could turn right. Telephone, Mrs. Walker. Excuse me a moment, will you?
Oh, the heck, they push them through a bit sharpish these days, don't they?
How do you stop and start again before turning right?
Or, conversely, how would you become a driving instructor without having a Victoria Cross or being certified?
What's slower than a fella?
3 fellas.
They don't have our education, Mrs. Sharples.
Well, they don't have our nose, and that's a fact.
Would you like to let us in on a secret, Mrs. Sharples? I mean, is there something that you know that we don't?
It's not something, lad, it's a lot. She wasn't talking about going out on the road.
Who wasn't?
They get worse, don't they?
Well, you wouldn't have thought it was possible, but it is. Annie Walker wasn't. She was driving in one of the offices, in the dark, in front of one of those moving picture things.
They call it a simulator, Mrs. Sharples.
That's right, a simulator. She's doing the real thing tonight.
Oh, a simulator.
Oh, a simulator.
How did you find that out?
Because not being as gormless as you lot, I don't take everything in, I asked her.
No, it's no wonder we wanted liberating from this lot. Isn't that right, Hilda?
In what right?
Fellas are useless, and if anybody should know, you should.
Well, not all of them. Mine's out working, which is more than you can say for some.
It's usually more than you can say for yours.
Oh, now, fair's fair. I've seen his ladders down Inkerman. No sign of him, but I've seen his ladders.
All right, give it a rest.
Do you know, it's cheaper to put a villain into the Midland Hotel than it is to put him in Durham Jail.
There you are, there's your answer then. Put 'em all up in the Midland.
Well, that is what I'm saying.
It's serious and all.
Of course I'm serious. Why shouldn't I be? Look, I'm not saying hotels, hospitals. Look, if a fella goes to the doctors with rumbling guts, right, they don't kick him in, do they? So why kick the tea leaf? I mean, he's only the same as the other bloke, except he's got a dose of the dodgy digits. I mean, they give him a comfortable bed in Weatherfield General, but I get a scruffy cell in Walton. Now, that is discrimination, pure and simple. I mean, we're both sick.
Well, you are, and that's a fact.
Anyway, I'm not arguing anymore.
Good.
They're as non-so-blind as the ones that can't be seen.
That's it.
All right, Mrs. O?
Well, I'm not as daft as you for a start.
They are. I told you I'd get some sensible conversation if I persevered. How's your dear old husband, then?
Oh, flaming pushed as usual. Oh, hey, are you still saving us them pies?
Would I dare do out else?
You heard what Ray said about his ladders being seen in Inkerman Street, you know. He might have been unavoidably detained.
Yeah, well, let him start that game again and he'll find his head unavoidably knocked off.
Hey, if you're not going to buy that, would you mind putting it back where you got it from?
No sooner said than done, Your Honour. Anyway, I wouldn't waste me money. Them magazines do a disservice to the male sex, they do. They make you think we're all the same.
And aren't you?
Of course not. Look, 2 lads living next door to each other in Scotty Road. One supports Everton, the other supports the Pool. Now, what could be more different than that?
They're both crackpots as far as I'm concerned.
That is because you do not appreciate the finer things of life. Have you ever seen Ray Clements finger-tipping a scorcher past the post? Or Kevin Keegan in Full Flight? Or Big Tosh hammering one past a stranded custodian with his head?
You were very literary this morning.
Comes from a lifetime of reading the back pages, Squire. I mean, you take any day. Outwardly, we're both the same.
You could have fooled me.
Me too.
But inside, chalk and cheese. He sees being out of work as something to be ashamed of, don't you?
No, I'm not ashamed, Dixon. No, it's
No,
not
but
that.
it's your fault, isn't it?
Well, all right, I suppose not every photographer's out of a job. Why me? Yes,
There
all
you
right.
go again, because you're not every photographer. When the wholesaler clobbers them, they clobber the public. But you wouldn't do that, would you?
No, you've got to make a stand somewhere.
Exactly,
otherwise
so
things just
there
get
you
worse
are,
and worse.
making your stand. I'm going to make a stand, he says. I'll go bust. And there's not a ripple on the pond, mate. Not a ripple.
Thank you.
Oh, look, I'm only trying to explain your inner self.
Well, you're going a funny way about it. Look, I've been asking round at the Gatsby about a job, but so far there's nothing. But the pianist says he's due for a gallbladder operation any week now, so you never know your luck. They will be needing somebody.
Great. Will you pass my name round?
Sure.
Oh.
In the meantime, how about Paper Lad? He's not a gallbladder operation within. He just fell off his bike.
Oh, I think I'm
There you go again, turning down on his toil. I'll take it.
You are?
The paper lad, I'll take it.
You are giving me the chance to work you to death.
Yeah.
Right. You're on.
Right.
Right. Report here, 5 o'clock for the evening news.
You can bank on it.
Aren't you forgetting whatever it was you come in for?
Oh, yeah, The Guardian, you've sold out.
The Guardian? You couldn't even understand headlines.
You want me to give you an example of my intelligence?
All right.
5 to 2 says the book that Ernie has just picked up is historical. And do you know why? Because people who live in the past enjoyed reading about it.
He'd have won and all, wouldn't he?
Don't they always? That sort?
Evening paper, and I don't want tipping. Evening, Mr. Humphreys.
How do? Is Mrs. Walker ready yet?
What do you want, fellow?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, you know, tell her it's a driving instructor.
All right. A driving instructor?
That's right, love.
Mrs. Walker. It's your driving instructor. And I've got to tell you, this has had a few.
Mrs. Walker,
Yes?
when you're ready, love. Oh, on the other hand, if you're in no particular hurry, I could use another pint.
Oh, I get it. Don't you worry, Mrs. Walker. He's a pal of this one's. Need I say more?
You're a marvellous, Cliff. That was great.
Was it all right, Eddie? Just say the word, love, and I'll drive you around the bend.
I'm sure you would. Very droll.
Oh, calculated to get the adrenaline pumping, Mrs. Walker.
Mrs. Walker, is it? Oh, my name's Grade, from the driving school.
May I say you look much more like it.
Hey, do you fancy a double scotch?
No thanks.
Hey, do you mind reading from this card, please? Starting on the top line.
Hey, take the notice of them, lovely.
Ready when you are, Mr. Gray.
He's going to drive it. Good luck. Oh, dear me.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think I'll be off now.
Yeah, me at all.
Leave it be, you rotten dev.
Stop with Harry. It might be you what's learned.
But it isn't, is it?
I don't know whether you're interested or not, but they should be taking on now down at Fairclough's.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, with the rail laid up. They're asking Terry to work all hours, and they're still a bit pushed.
Do you know how many people are out of work? There's millions.
Not quite millions.
Of course there are. Look, the way I see it is the vacant jobs ought to go to the most deserving. Well, I mean, it's only fair, isn't it? You'd hardly call me deserving, would you? Anyway, I've got my paper round to think of.
Foolish of me to mention it.
Hey, you little honors. Go on. Hiya.
Hiya.
How is he? How's he doing?
Oh, he was sitting up and cheerful when I rang up early this morning. He ate his breakfast all right, anyway.
Ah, well, that's all right then.
I'll tell him you were asking.
Yeah. Give him these, will you?
Oh, you're all right. You don't want to take your fags off, you?
Yeah, well, me and your old fellow never really got on, you know, and I think it was dead tight what happened to him.
Well, that's very nice of you. He'll appreciate that.
Yeah, well, never mind, eh?
Oh, heck, was that rain?
Oh, it'll only be a shower.
Yeah, well, I'll see you.
Yeah.
Ta.
See ya.
Oh, do you mind?
What?
Well, all that touching and breathing, it's putting me off my game.
Well, I can see some it is.
Come on, Mr. T, I'm waiting for you to play. One false move and wham.
I'll just sweat you.
You want to play your double three.
Will you shut up, woman, telling him what I've got?
Oh, very shrewd, Dom, that. Very crafty.
You see?
However, I'm sorry to have to tell you that your shoes let in water because you can't go now, can you?
You hang on a minute.
Listen, if you've got a domino you can play, I'll plait sawdust.
I told you to play your double three.
Oh, shut up, woman. What would Montgomery have done to tell Alamein if you'd been there nattering in his ear hole?
He'd have played his double three.
Oi! Aye, Stanley.
Hey, keep always shouting, will you? Maybe jump.
What's all this then?
Nothing.
Doesn't look like nothing to me. Looks like a bundle of something wrapped up in an old coat.
Oh, I told you, it's nothing.
Is that what you call nothing, Stanley? That's what I call a raggedy old vest.
Oh, well, it's washing, isn't it?
I've never seen that hanging on your backyard line.
Oh, well, I mean, they wouldn't hang that on the line, you know.
Now, Stanley, come on, you can trust me. You've been at it, haven't you?
What are you on about?
I've seen it before. It's your time of life, you see. We had a fella in Walton just the same. Washing line Walter, they used to call him. He couldn't pass a washing line without nicking a load of knickers.
Oh, all right, yes, it's washing. It's not mine, but I'm not pinching it. I'm taking it back.
Oh, quite right, too. You will have to master your impulses, Stanley. That's what the trick cyclist told washing line Walter. See ya. When do we make our first door-to-door delivery?
Well,
then?
the cart's available, Albert. I can change me round.
Now, I've been doing a bit of costing. Now, I reckon if we sell the spuds loose in £3 lots, we'll have to borrow a set of scales off this mate of mine on the market. Now, he won't charge us much, and if I know him, they'll weigh in our favour anyway.
Yeah, but we don't need no scales.
I can't guess, Albert.
But we don't need no scales because we're not selling taters.
Eh?
At least you're not. I am.
Oh, you've not gone and cut us out, have you?
As far as I can remember, I never did cut you in. And Mrs. Sharples here has come forward with a very good suggestion on this occasion.
Well, that's very helpful, Mrs. Sharples. What is it?
Well, Albert sells direct to the Derby and Joan clubs. It's still cheaper than the shops, and he's doing a good turn and earning the gratitude of folk in the same boat as himself.
But how does he get the stuff down to Derby and Joan Club? He still hasn't solved his transport problem, has he?
I haven't got one. Folks come to the allotment and pick the stuff up there.
What? Old-age pensioners humping great sacks of veg from the canal bank?
Well, most of them have got families and grandchildren that'll help, and Ken says he'll muster some of the lads from the youth club to help them that haven't.
You've got it all organised, haven't you?
Yeah, I reckon we have.
Look, that is the formula, right? I'll show you again. A plus D minus B plus C squared. That's multiplied by itself for the benefit of the ignorant.
But what's all these A and B's?
Oh, give me strength. Look, A is the dog's age in months, right? B is the number of letters in its mother's name. Its mother's, mind you, not its father's.
Did he run the race and close the track before you'd worked that out?
Look, with a form book and a pocket calculator, any mug can work it out. I'm telling you, that is a working system. You ask Charlie Lockhart.
Who's he when he's at home?
Charlie Lockhart? Only the greatest exponent of dog racing the world has ever known.
And where did you meet him?
Yeah, well, we shared accommodation in Walton, you know. He had this theory about prison grub, you see. He reckoned it was slowly poisoning him, so he gave up his secret just before he died. Well, for a couple of quid.
And he's still alive?
Yeah.
What was he doing in Walton if he was such a little genius?
He got nicked breaking into the bookies.
Trying to get his money back, was he?
Yeah, well, now that you mention it, it could have been that. Hello.
Hello, Eddie. What are you doing here, then?
Well, it's my good deed for the day. Stan's glass back's cracked again, and I'm standing in for him.
Oh, I see.
What's all this, then?
Yeah, well, this is my good deed for the day.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, it's a sort of unofficial play group we run sometimes. Say the mums dragging their kids around the shops.
Hey, it's a good idea, now.
No, not today, it isn't. The girl who usually runs it didn't turn up, so Muggins here got London with the job.
Uneasy lies the head, eh, Squire?
You can say that again. There you are. Grab that one there.
Telephone call for you in the office.
Oh, well, would you like to keep an eye on the travel for a few minutes for me, then?
Ken, I'd love to, but I'm meeting Ernest in town and I'm 15 minutes late already.
OK, well, tell him I'll ring them back in a bit.
It's the town hall.
Oh, blast.
I'll look after them for you, if you like.
Oh, would you, Eddie?
Well, you know, yeah.
OK, just a couple of minutes, then.
Well, don't worry, Squire. Like I used to say to my old teacher, it's better than working, isn't it?
I'll take that up with you some other time.
Hello. What are your names? I'll tell you what. My name's Uncle Eddie. You have to tell me your name, and I'll count to 3, and then you tell me your names, eh? 1, 2, 3. I couldn't hear that. Couldn't hear that. We'll try it again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's smashing. Well, I know all who you are now. Hey, I'll tell you what, do you like stories?
Yeah.
Shall I tell you a story? I'll tell you what, I'll tell you the story of Ellie the Welly Thump. Do you know what a Welly Thump is? Well, really, in the start of the story, you see, Ellie was an ordinary elephant, and she was brought to the docks because someone had left the cranes out all night. And do you know what? Someone had left them out and they'd all gone all rusty. Isn't that terrible? So, they brought Ellie to lift all the cargo, you see. So there she was. And Scouse Fred. Now, Scouse, do you know Scouse Fred?
No.
Don't you know him? Well, he's the jumbo keeper from New Brighton, you see. He said, well, you'll have to do something, Ellie. There's enough people standing round here doing nothing. So Ellie said, I'm not putting my nice clean feet in that mucky Mersey. Well, Scouse Fred didn't know what to do. And do you know what happened next? Well, just down the other end of the docks, there was a welly chucking competition, you see. Do you know what a welly chucking competition is? Do you know what? Well, they all chuck Wellingtons, you see. Anyway, there was one of them. And all of a sudden, a great big welly came flying through the air and it hit Ellie right on the nose. Boom! Like that. And Scouse Freddy didn't half laugh. He laughed so much he laughed his socks off. Hey, and he had great big boots on at the time, so that wasn't easy, was it? So, that gave Scouse Fred an idea. He thought, I know what I'll do. And he nipped off and he got 3 more wellies. So Ellie you see. Now, there she was, standing there, you see, like that. And Scouse Fred came back with 3 more wellies, and he put them on her feet. And so now she could stand in the water without getting her feet dirty. Wasn't that smashing? And she was the happiest elephant in the world. And do you know what they called her? They didn't call her an elephant, they called her a welly-thump. A welly-thump, because she had all these wellies on, you see, and they all lived happily ever after. Now, did you like that? Yeah. I can't hear you. Did you like that? Yeah. Oh, right again. I think I'm going blind in me deaf ear. Did you like it?
Yeah!
Oh, smashing.
That was very good, Eddie.
Well, the kids enjoyed it anyway.
They certainly did. And so did I. You know, you've really got quite a talent for it, haven't you?
What's that, supping?
No, storytelling.
Well, I didn't get much from me, man, but I did get that. The gift of the gab. Do you know, at school, I always fancied myself as a writer, really.
Oh, why didn't you pursue it?
Well, it is sort of. I went to the English teacher. I said, I fancy myself as a writer. He said, there's only one thing wrong. You can't write for toffee.
See. Anyway, I'm very grateful.
Anytime. I like kids, you know. I don't think people devote enough time to them.
Well, that's certainly true of the kids around here. Not the toddlers, perhaps, but certainly the older ones.
The latchkey kids, you mean?
Yeah, that's right. You know, there's nothing actually organised for them, or not organised specifically for them.
Well, that's your job, isn't it, Squire?
Partly, yeah, but you can only do so much, you know, and I don't think the youth club bit's the answer. No, what they want something new, something like an adventure playground.
Hey, that'd go a bomb round here.
Yeah, that's right, and there's a place to do it, round the back.
Well, what are you waiting for, then?
The usual thing, official approval. They've approved the plan, they've approved the site. I'm just waiting for the paperwork to go through the machinery, you know, and the money.
But why wait?
Eddie, everything we do has to have official approval.
Look, you go through official channels, I'll make a start on my own.
Doing what?
Well, getting the kids to collect stuff, you know, stuff they like playing with, like old tyres, bangers, that sort of thing, you know. But why not? I mean, if it's going to happen eventually anyway.
You know, Eddie, there's no reason. All right, you're on.
Right.
Eddie, the stuff that you do collect,
As if. Look, you go out collecting, you come back, and some hard case from them flats has liberated the lot, hasn't he?
Yes, shut up, you!
Hey, you! Knock it off, the pair of you! Now, listen.
But we'll have to make a start sometime, won't we, Eddie?
Of course we will. But by then we'll have a big sign, won't we, saying Adventure Playground.
Yeah.
Now, come on, the pair of you. Oh, get off that, behave yourself.
Yeah?
Hello, Raymond, mate. How are you doing?
Why?
Great. Look, is it all right if Darren and me take some of this old stuff, timber and stuff, off your hands? For the Adventure Playground, like? Well, it's not my idea, it's Ken's, really. I'm just clerk of works, you know.
Bog off.
Yeah, well, before you make any definite decision, like...
Oi! Get off that! Now you, take your pet vandal and get lost.
Oh, come on, Ray, don't be such a miserable swine.
If you call me a swine, mate, I'll alter the shape of your chops. Now, I've told you, bog off.
I thought you said you had contacts. Ah, come on.
Stanley, the very man I'm looking for. What can I get you?
Eh?
What can I get you?
I was just going to get some fags.
Say no more. Have them.
Oh, tell very much. What do you want, Eddie?
Well, it's in the nature of a request, really.
A request?
Yeah, but a request with a difference. I am giving you, Stanley, the opportunity to do something very, very worthwhile.
Something illegal?
Stanley, I'm talking about helping people. Not you, not me, underprivileged kids.
Oh, well, Hilda's left me a bit short, you see.
Stan, all I want is your cooperation. Now, I've been asked to start this adventure playground across the road, and various people have been very kind and given us planks and bits and bobs. Now, my problem is getting it from there to here. Now, I was wondering whether I could actually borrow your car.
My car?
Yes, for half an hour. An hour, top whack. You see, the thing is, I've got to round up the gear and get it over here. I mean, the kids can't do it, they're only nippers.
Hey, well, you take care of it, won't you? I mean, I can't work without that, you know.
Stanley, what can happen to a cart in an hour?
That's what's worried me. All right.
Stan, you'll feel all warm and glowing in a minute. Yeah. Especially as you're helping others, and especially as it's kids.
I'll tell you when I feel glowing. Hey!
Is Ray in?
No. No, he'll be back in a bit.
Well, he did say to call back later, like, and see you, because you'd know what was gash and what wasn't, you know.
That lot might look a load of rubbish to you, you know, but it does come in, I'll tell you.
You must have something you don't want. I mean, yeah, what about this bit of rope? Now, look, that's been there 12 months that I know of.
You know the price of rope today. That's our hedge against inflation, is that, mate?
I'll let him have it, Lem.
You what?
Well, you know what they say. Give them enough rope, they'll hang themselves. There ought to be enough there.
Very amusing, Raymond. Thanks anyway.
Look, I tell you what, we got some joists we took out of a house in Victor Street. You can take that. That's going a bit rotten.
Listen, Lem, we need them. They'll cut up, they will.
It's
I've already
in a-
told this fella he's wasting his time.
It's in a good cause, you know. I won't harm.
Listen, mate, that timber is money in the bank. If he wants a flipping playground putting up, we'll send him an estimate.
Look, I'll call back a bit later for that stuff.
Bit of timber wouldn't have done any harm.
Listen, he's always on the cadge. I bet none of that stuff he gets ever sees no adventure playground.
I don't know, Eddie. Oh, what about an old push bike?
Great, I'll take it off your hands free of charge.
It's in yard at back at shop. You
Thanks
pick
a
up
lot,
anytime.
mate. Thanks. I knew there was one person in this firm that was human.
Hey, I want a word with you.
Oh, aye?
You know that bike of Deirdre's we give you, Alf and Fred says you finished with it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, right, well, we'd like it back, all right?
What do you want it back for, eh? You said we could have it.
Yeah, no, you don't want it, so we want it back. It's no use to you, is it?
Well, no.
Well, where is it then?
I've just give it to Eddie Yeats for his adventure playground.
Hey, Eddie! Eddie!
What?
Is it all right if I have this plank to make a board? Yeah, I only need some wheels then.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Look out!
Grab hold of that.
Coming on all right, isn't it?
Fire, it's smashing. Where did it all come from?
Oh, here and there, you know. Hey, it's all legit if that's what you're wondering about.
Well, I suppose now you'll be on to phase 2.
Phase 2, how do you mean?
No, fixing all this, building something, you know.
Ah, well, we've got a bit of a problem there. We need some hammers and nails and that, and spades to dig holes, you know, and concrete for the uprights, like.
In a word, investment, am I right? Yeah, well, I'll have a word with the centre committee, but I can't promise anything.
There is one problem, I don't want the kids to expect too much, you know. I mean, I've told them it'll only be rough and ready. Like.
Don't worry, Eddie, they won't be disappointed.
All right, now take it easy. Relax.
We've been driving.
Any bones broken over there?
No, he's just a bit stunned, I think. Are you okay?
She just went straight into it. She just drove straight into it.
Like she was drawn to it, eh?
Hey, stop there.
Are you all right? Are you sure?
Is Alf all right?
I think he'll live to tell the tale. Come on, let's get you inside, eh?
Be proud of yourself there, Mrs. Walker. Direct it. Right on the button. Hey, you got a flight there, mate. Bit of filler, new windscreen, you're laughing. More than can be said for that bit of wood there. Take more than chewing gum to put that together.
Did you see that? Don't they teach him how to stop at these driving schools? She just drove straight into it as if she was...
There's a chance in your pocket, dear Stanley, dear Stanley. There's a chance... Oh, you get off. Come on. In your bucket, dear Stanley, me old fruit.
Hello.
Hey. All right, knock it off, you two. Come on, let's be having you. All right, who said what and to who?
No one said nothing. You were just bored.
He pinched my rope.
Did you?
Might have. He did.
All right, let's have that. Give me it back, eh?
No.
Look, there's plenty more where that came from.
He wasn't using it,
That is not the point. The point is it was his rope and you nicked it. Now, you wouldn't like him nicking your gear, would you?
He's not got worth nicking.
Look, just give me it back, eh?
No.
You've got a very stubborn streak there, Darren. Very stubborn. It's going to get you into trouble one of these days. Now, give me it back and we'll say no more.
No.
Right. You're forcing me to do something I was hoping we could avoid. But you leave me no option, Darren. You want to fight, do you? Hey? You want to fight? Is that what you want? Hey?
Eddie?
It's all right, Ken. I'll handle this. And I'll give you one more chance. Are you going to give him that rope back, or are you going to face the consequences?
No.
Right.
I did.
Did you give up?
Yeah, give up.
Right. Come on, do your stuff. And shake. Come on, you know the rules, or do you want some more of the same? Right, now, off home, the lot of you. Come on, off home, you two and all. Come on.
Oh, Eddie, don't want to go.
Home. I'll have your mums after me. Go on, up it. See you tomorrow.
See ya.
I owe you an apology, Eddie.
Hey?
Yeah, for a minute just I didn't know what you were going to do.
You didn't? Ken, me arm them kids. I'd cut my own throat first, I mean that.
Yeah, well, I have apologised, haven't I?
You overlooked one very important thing. I'm a congenital coward. I didn't nick it. Got it off a mate of mine in the scrap trade. And not only that, he's got a better deal coming. He's got a double-decker bus coming in, and we're going to have first refusal.
A bus? A proper one? We see.
The genuine article, kiddo. He'll want the engine for the parts, but the rest of it we can do what we like with.
When?
I'm going to go and see him this afternoon. But in the meantime, who's for the quick respray then?
Yeah, I'll do it, Eddie.
Hey, hands off. It's about time you lot went back to school, isn't it? Come on, I'll see you this afternoon. Same time, same place. Come on, up it. Now, I don't have to get rough with you, but I will if I have to now. Come on. You little honors. Hey, and you lot, off to school. Go on, get going. Do as you're told. Go.
Well.
Not bad, eh?
Eddie, you work wonders. Where do you get it all from?
Friends in high places. Hey, it's all legal and above board, you know, Ken. Hey, there is one thing I would like to get, though. That's a minibus that goes. Take the kids to the lakes or Blackpool. Do you know, I think some of them kids have never seen a real bit of countryside.
Yeah, well, we'll work on it. What are you doing?
Oh, just in case Annie Walker wants a bit more driving practice. I'll get this out your way now, Ken.
Yeah, OK. Do you want a hand?
Nah, I can manage. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to say. It's about the job, like.
Oh, yes, Eddie. Yes, I've been thinking about that myself. About the financial side, anyway. I think with all the hours that you're putting in, you deserve some financial reward. So I'll have a word with the committee, see if we can squeeze something out of the funds.
Oh, great. Yeah. No, actually, that wasn't what I wanted to speak to you about. It was... Well, it's about the... It's about... Well, I wanted to say Tar, you know, for giving me the job in the first place. It meant a lot to me, that, you know. Not many people would have trusted me, a fellow with a track record like mine, you know. I just wanted you to know that, well, I appreciate it, like, you know.
Oh, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, to prove it, I'll put my money where my mouth is and I'll buy you a pint.
Right, you're on.
Hey, you got some visitors.
Ah.
Mr. Barlow?
Yes?
Mr. Smedley, father of young children in your youth section.
Oh, yes.
And this is Mrs. Briscoe.
Oh, Darren's mother.
Oh, good. Right, well, what can I do for you?
Well, we understand that you've got yourself a new play leader by the name of Yeats.
Yes, that's right. He's, well, he's very unofficial at the moment.
Well, we've heard that he's got a criminal record.
And where did you hear that?
Well, does it matter where we heard it? The point is it true?
Yes, it's true, but it's in the past.
Well, fact is, Mr. Barlow, we're not happy about it. None of us are. That's the parents, that is. And, well, we've got together and...
We think he might be an untoward influence.
I see. And what do you propose that I do about it? I mean, you didn't just come round here to tell me that you weren't happy about it, did you?
No, we didn't. We want you to get rid of him.
And if I don't?
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that, eh? I mean, not once you've thought about it. I mean, seen our point of view.
All right, well, let's just suppose, for argument's sake, if you like, that I refuse to get rid of him. What then?
Well, we'll go over your head.
We want rid of him, Mr. Barlow. We mean it. We don't want an ex-convict mixing with our kids.
We'll come back for your answer tonight. Afternoon.
They're off Alf Roberts' car headlamps, as these, you know.
Of course, you're in the street. It might puncture a motor car, but we haven't got a motor car, have we?
Look, it's evidence is that broken glass, Stanley. What can't speak can't lie. Now go and get that shovel.
All right.
I've been thinking, Mrs. Oak.
That's a change round here.
What you need at this meeting tonight is someone to handle your case. Now, I can do that perfectly because, you see, I have had the legal experience, like.
Oh, aye, but it's all from the wrong side, isn't it? I know just what would happen if you stood up and spoke, fellas. You'd find yourself pleading guilty and asking for 26 other offences to be taken into consideration.
Well, if that's your attitude, I shan't press it any further. But don't say I didn't make the offer.
There you are.
Well, hold it for us. You're not paralysed as well as unemployed, are you? Come on.
Hello there, Ken, my old mate.
Eddie.
Hey, got some good news for you. I've had a word with Len and his lad Terry, and guess what?
Go on, amaze me.
They've only agreed to do the hard bits of the carpentry. You know, a splice here, a joint there, so that the first time a flaming arrow thuds into the wall, it doesn't fall over.
That's very good.
Hey, and not only that, the wood's coming today. So if me and the kids make a start now, I reckon they'll be ready to look it over at the weekend. What do you think?
That sounds okay to me.
What's the matter, Ken? You've got a face like a brush handle.
I won't wrap it up, Eddie. Those people who are just in here, they're parents of two of the kids in your adventure playground.
Oh, aye. Something wrong?
I'm afraid so, yes. They'll hear about you. They don't like you being in charge of their kids.
They've heard about me.
Seems so.
Yeah, well, that's having a record for you. Don't half follow you around, doesn't it?
We've done more than just think it over, Mr. Barlow. We've had a talk with one or two of the other parents.
That's right. We've had a talk among ourselves.
And the top and bottom of it is that, well, we stick to what we said before. We don't want your friend Eddie Yeats. Nothing personal, but there it is.
We don't seem to have considered it at all.
But we have. We definitely have. But let's face it, Mr. Barlow, it's our kids we're talking about. We don't want them following in the footsteps of a chap like that.
Eddie Yeats is not proud of his past, I can assure you. And in my opinion, and I'm not saying this lightly, he will not be a bad influence on your children.
Oh, but you can't be sure. And it'd be our kids that have suffered if you were wrong.
I mean, you know what youngsters are like. Anybody stealing, they think it's clever.
Yes, but you seem to be completely overlooking the fact that this adventure playground, which you must admit is keeping the kids off the streets, is all down to Eddie Yeats. I think he's doing a good job.
Well, my neighbour, Mrs. Kenyon, she knows somebody who knows him. And according to this person, he's always been a right tearaway, never out of trouble.
Have you met him yourself?
Oh, I've seen him around. I haven't actually spoken to him.
How about you, Mr. Briscoe? Have you met this dreadful chap that you're so worried about?
No, I don't think I have. But I can't say I feel I've missed anything.
Come with me.
There's the old lady crouching out. Help, help, she shouted. So they ran back to the little cottage as fast as their legs could carry them. Because, I know he is, because they'd had great big dinners every single day. Every day they had great big dinners. Now, wasn't that smashing? I can't hear you. Wasn't that smashing? Yeah! Hey, should we have another one tomorrow?
It's not the effect on the toddlers I'm worried about, Mr. Barlow. It's what might rob off on their 10-year-olds.
We can't help worrying about it, Mr. Barlow.
I appreciate your concern for your children, I really do. But there is another consideration, isn't there? I mean, Eddie Yeats is trying to live down his past, trying to make amends, put it right, if you like. And now, while he's doing that here, you're asking me to kick him in the teeth.
I'm sorry, Mr. Barlow, but Eddie Yeats has had all his chances. And however sorry you might feel for him, well, you're not entitled to take risks with other people's kids.
Eddie, I've been thinking. If we're going to have a battle, it's got a good move to get in the first blow, right? Well, they're going to go to the council. I'll go to the council before them.
No, Ken.
What?
I've been thinking as well. If we have to fight at all on this, it means we've lost. Do you know, if I had a kid like one of my lot and some old tearaway was in charge of their playgroup, I wouldn't be too pleased neither.
Eddie, you're good at this and you enjoy it.
I know. But I'll tell you something else. If we have to fight, it means the kids are going to get dragged right into the middle of it. We won't have a playground on our hands, we'll have a battleground.
It seems such a waste. I mean, this playground is all your effort.
Yeah, well, you're wasting your time, Ken. I've made me bed of nails. It's not all my fault, I agree, but most of it is. So now I've got to lie on it. I mean, we've all got prejudices. I can understand their point of view. It's just that, I mean, I hate scuffers for good reasons. But, oh, I don't know. Hey, I'll tell you what, if there weren't no scuffers, there wouldn't be no criminals. And then we wouldn't have the problem with the parents.
Yeah, I still feel defeated, though.
Don't. We've got the playground going. I mean, that's the main thing. Look, I won't tell the kids that their mums and dads didn't reckon me. I'll just tell them I'm packing it in, you know. I'll just say this do-gooding lark's too strenuous for me, you know. Hey, hope you've not run off with the coal man, then.
You are?
You never give us a shout this morning, do you? You know my mornings aren't the same without your dulcet tones threatening to kick me down them stairs.
Yeah, well, you've nowhere to go, have you, seeing you're out of work?
That is not the point, Mrs. O. I like to be ready in case the opportunity arises.
Don't you feel bitter, Eddie?
Hey?
Well, I mean, losing your little job over at the centre with them kids.
Yeah. Well, it's water under the bridge, innit?
Yeah, but you got kicked out for now, didn't you? I mean, looking after a few kids whose mums are glad to get them off the street, where's the crime in that?
Well, that's just it, innit? That's the ridiculous part. Their mums would sooner have them on the street than under my influence.
So you just sit back and take it?
Well, what else can I do? It's the kids I feel sorry for.
Yeah, but it's you what's lost his job. Been kicked in the guts again.
All part of life's rich tapestry, love.
Yeah, but you can only take so much, Eddie. And I've just about had it up to here.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, it's everything, isn't it? Stan's cart. It's them and their rotten 10 quid compensation. It's him stuck up there like the flaming Sleeping Beauty. Paper peeling off the bathroom wall. Oh, it's every rotten thing. Of course, you know what they was thinking last night when they give us that 10 quid, don't you? They was thinking, that'll keep 'em quiet. That's just about what the Ogdens is worth.
10 quid, that's a lot, you know. I mean, you were lucky there. I reckon they'd want change out of a duff apron for me. I mean, that is compensation, that is. Hey, I'll tell you what. Stan'll get a new cart, then you'll be quids in.
Oh, we're not asking for a chance in life. It's too late for that any road. Now, all we want is just to be allowed to make the best of what we've got. Now, goodness knows that's not too much to ask.
You're right. We're losers, born and bred. Me and the kids and you and Stan's cart. But don't worry, Mrs. O. We're indestructible.
Oh, aye. Till you get one battering too many. Then it comes home to you that that's what's been happening all your blooming life.
Look, you leave it to your Uncle Eddie. I'll have that suet dumpling of yours on the road this afternoon. Here he is, the answer to the brewer's prayer.
Ah, shut up, what do you keep?
You look like an advert for putty, you do. How much did you sup last night?
Well, I had to drown my sorrows, didn't I?
Drown your sorrows? You supped enough to float the oil Iris, mate.
Yeah, and where'd you get the money from to get your eyes the colour of a Blackpool sunset?
Oh, well, no,
Oh, no. No, you wouldn't. Oh, Norris, 10 quid.
I've got a bob or two left.
Just the lads I'm looking for. Squire Fairclough and Big Ears.
Do you reckon if we ignore him, he'll go away?
I heard that, Langton. Now, listen, I'm after a bit of help.
Oh, well, that does make a change.
It makes a change from wanting a lot of help, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have a pint, please, Bet. Now, as I was saying...
Oh, get to the point before it costs me more money.
I can get to the point in 2 words, Mr. Fairclough. Stanley Ogden.
Who?
All right. Hilda Ogden, then.
Ditto.
Look, this is serious. Would I do something as contrary to my nature as helping a fella get back to work if it wasn't?
What are you on about?
Look, it's Hilda. She's as flat as last week's ale. On account of Stan's car being bust, and he can't get out and earning on his crust.
And where do I come in?
Well, for a start, you can tell us where I can get a new cart from.
Oh, I see, yeah. Well, you can go to Nelson's, corner of Oldham Street.
What, the scrapyard?
Yeah. Yeah, they might have something for you. You can mention my name if you like.
Ah, you better make it clear what you want, because I reckon you'd fetch about £2 a ton down there.
Must be great having a mate like him.
Oh, it is.
Mrs. O?
Oh, if you want your dinner, it's not ready.
Oh. Ah, well, it doesn't matter, because I've got some very good news for you, haven't I?
Oh, how'd you go on then?
Well, that's just it, innit? Not bad. Not bad at all.
Well, you found him somewhat, did you?
Well, no, not exactly. But I've had some very near misses. I mean, at one point I thought I'd cracked it. I had my hands on the very thing, and then he came back.
Who did?
Well, this fella. He reckoned it was his, you see. Well, I mean, I wasn't to know, was I? If he just up this jigger, I thought he'd been left for the kids.
Ah, so we're back where we started.
But we're not, though, are we? We know there's one or two about now. I mean, all we got to do is keep our eyes skinned till we find one that's going begging.
If we're not first.
What's that?
Going begging.
Oh, things are never as bad as they look.
No, you're right there. They're 10 times worse.
Hey, perhaps Stan's come up with something.
Oh, yeah. Now, why didn't I think of that?
Where is he, anyway?
Oh, where do you think? I think he must have been born with a pint pot in his hand, that fella.
Yeah, well, it is a sort of natural thing for a fella to do, isn't it?
Oh, aye. Only he's more natural at it than most. Big fat nothing.
Look, don't worry, Mrs. O. I mean, I'll come up with something. There's a little job waiting for you at home.
What's that?
Cheering up your Hilda. She's very low. Very low.
I'll finish the pint first. It's on my list.
See, it's all to do with Stan being without the tools of his trade, like.
What else?
Hilda being depressed. Well, among other things.
Among other things being mainly Stan?
Yeah, I suppose so. Look, it wouldn't be possible to build him another cart, would it, Mr. Fairclough? I mean, a window cleaner without a cart is like a bee without a buzz, isn't he?
Anything's possible.
Ah, but Stanley likes being without a buzz, doesn't he?
That is sadly true.
One more bet, keep that company.
Hey, I've only got the one pair of hands, you know.
All right. See what I mean about Hilda? I mean, she's not herself.
Thank you very much, Betty. Will I take for a pound out of this, lovey? Oh, go on, what's the odds? Might as well give him the change, you know.
Ooh. Hey, Hilda, love, aren't you stopping for one, then?
No, thanks very much, but I'm not in a drinking mood.
Nothing wrong, is there, darling?
Oh, just life, Len. Especially my flipping life.
See what I mean? Definitely a candidate for the cut. And that big balloon doesn't help much.
Do you reckon she's depressed because he's lost his anchor?
Well, and the consequences. Like Stanley having the best excuse in the world to indulge in his favourite hobby, boozing. I mean, she has a rough time of it, Hilda, you know. It's not easy to get her down.
Go on, Langton. You what? We've got a job to do.
We flipping bell, are we?
Hey,
Come on.
do you need me?
Ah, in a bit.
Well, how did you get on? Mrs. Walker.
We lost.
You never. We did. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, tough.
What happened, Mrs. Walker? Bench full of grocers, was it? Yeah, well, it happens. I had a bench full of tobacconists, you know, and I was up for nicking fags. Give me 6 months.
Hey, Stan! Stan, come and have a look! Stan!
What's up?
Luke, it's yours. It's got your name painted on both sides. Now, who could have done that?
That's my wheel.
You what?
Both wheels in the old cart.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Hey, that's not bad, is it?
Well, who would have thought? Who would have thought, eh?
Where you going?
Hey, it was you, wasn't it?
Eh? Hey, get off, what you doing?
Oh, thanks for doing that, Cart. It was just the job.
Oh, well, I only did the wheels. It was his idea.
Oh, were it?
Hey, Hilda.
Ah, you lovely lamb fair club.
What the hell's going on?
They've made Stan a new cart.
Yeah, and he painted his name on it.
Dick, come here.
All right, Hilda, I don't mind getting kissed.
Thanks very much, John.
Oh.
What about me?
Why, what have you done?
I told him how browned off you were.
Oh, Yeah, well, thanks very much, Eddie, but I don't want folks saying I'm promiscuous.
I'm very hurt, Hilda.
Oh, get him a pint in, Bet, and everybody else will know.
Hey,
oh, wait, I've come out without my purse.
Well, you can have them on tick, love, and if Mrs. Walker says out, refer her to me. I've got her eating out my hand. Right, what you're having?
Thanks very much, and that's very kind of you.
Listen, you'll have to go back to work now, you know, Stan.
I know, I'll have to face it.
Oh, you big daft lump. Get him a pint and all, Bet. Right,
That's all right.
Oh, what for? Frightening the dogs? Oh, no. No, there's only one thing for it. I shall just have to save up and buy myself a new raincoat, that's all.
It'll cost a bob or two now, you know, Max.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Come in like a drowned rat when it's pouring down? Oh, don't worry, it'll be no skin off your nose. I'll take it out of my Christmas money.
Well, you can't touch the Christmas money yet.
Why not?
Well, you can't. I mean, that's for all the extras at Christmas.
Oh, we'll manage. They'll put that on my gravestone, won't they? She didn't look much or weigh much, and she didn't expect much, but she always managed.
Look, I'll tell you what. Wait till weekend. I'll get some extra windows in, and I'll buy you a new Mac.
Why?
Well, you say I don't buy you out. Now's my chance.
You've been up to something, haven't you? I can tell by the look on your face.
Look, I said I'd buy you a Mac. When I want to do a good turn, you won't let me.
And you know why, don't you?
Oh.
Because every time you want to do me a good turn, it's always because you've just done me a bad turn and I know now to bow.
I'll get some more done.
Oh, no, you won't.
Why?
You just stay where you are.
It's only a couple of quid till weekend.
10. There was 16.
Just till weekend.
Oh, you thieving great rotten lump.
Are we going to put it back?
Liar.
Listen to me.
Dirty, rotten, stinking liar.
Elder.
Shut up. Oh, where did I ever get you from, eh? Fell over you, didn't I, in blackout? Whew. Should have left you there, pigging your own swill. Because what have you ever brought me, eh? Nothing.
Elder.
Nothing. Oh, a couple of kids, yeah. Yeah, we mustn't forget them, I suppose. One us doesn't know we're alive, and the other one what looks down his nose at us because he thinks we're muck. And you know what, Stanley? He's right, isn't he? Because that's just what we are. Muck.
6 quid till weekend.
Oh, will you listen? It's not the money. It's us. I mean, look at us. Spent all our lives arriving here. To this.
That's all right.
Oh, it's not all right. Oh, don't you ever take your nose out your rotten beer pot long enough to look around you. Don't you ever look back on us married life, Stan? Life? Knocked about from pillar to post, in work, out of work, dull, dull, rotten dull.
It's not as bad as that.
Of course it is. You and your glass back, her up at Inkerman Street. Everybody out there laughing at us. Oh, you want a good laugh? Go find Stanley Ogden. Oh, and don't miss her what's with him, her in the red rotten Mac. Oh. Don't you understand? I'm sick of being walked on. I'm sick of being the mug round here. And I'm sick of you. So why don't you just do me a favour and go away? Go on, just go.
Right.
That you, Stan?
Hello there, Mrs. O. How's tricks?
Oh, it's you.
Large as life and twice as good looking. In half a bit nippy on the back of a motorbike on the East Lancs. Puts a real sharpener on your appetite. Just doing tea, are you?
You're back from Liverpool, then. I thought you was planning on stopping there.
Well, I was planning on doing a few good turns. The snag is, there's a lot of jealousy about. I don't know whether you find that. There's a few fellas over there got it in for me. So I thought, what the hell, let them get on with it.
See Stan, did you? While he was over there?
Stan? Didn't know he was over there.
Well, over that way, towards there, like.
Ah. Where is he now? I know he's not out on his round.
How do you know? Who told you that?
Well, his cart's in the yard, isn't he? I mean, stands to reason he's not doing the windows with his cart in the yard.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's away just now. He does a bit of lorry driving from time to time, you know.
Ah, well, bigger helpings for us, eh, Mrs. O?
Oh, you can't stay here, Eddie. Not with Stan away. People might talk.
Aye?
Well, it doesn't do, does it? You being here while I'm on my own.
Yeah, but if I'm here, you're not on your own, are you?
Oh, no, you'll have to go, Eddie. I mean, it's different when Stan's here, but, well, a woman has to protect her good name, you know. I'm sorry, but there it is.
You mean it, don't you?
Well, of course I blame mean it. When I say something, I'm not just moving my mouth around, you know. No, you can see how I'm fixed, Eddie. Like I say, I'm not throwing you out for good, just while Stan's away.
Listen, I'm not going nowhere.
There you are, Annie. That's what you want, spare pair of hands. Eddie's doing nothing.
Good thinking. What do you say, Duchess? Couple of quid, say clean up and wash up.
One.
150.
Right, go on.
And a pint in there. It's in when they're down, that's always been my motto.
Stalemate. No, seems like it. I don't know. Pride causes more trouble than politics.
Listen, nature hates stalemates as much as it hates vacuum flasks. So I'm going to do something about it.
You're not going to interfere, are you?
Interfere? Me? Never. No, I'm just going to get the two goons together again. Well, somebody's got to.
Look, just a minute. I know somebody's got to, but you, I mean, you're not the most tactful fellow in the world, are you?
To say the least.
Look, I have got a vested interest in this. The sooner I get them two together, the sooner I get my room back at Mar Ogden's. All right?
Well, that's it then. You're doing the right thing, Stan, lad.
I hope so, for his sake.
What? Be as snug as two bugs in a rug by the morning, him and our Hilda, you see. Well, thanks all you've done for me. It's very much appreciated.
We've enjoyed having you, Stan. Been no bother at all, has it, Norman?
None.
Feel free to come again any time, won't you? There'll always be a welcome here for you.
Thanks very much, love. I'll be off.
Ta-ra, Stan.
What are you doing here?
Come to see you, haven't I?
Who's this, Stan?
Eddie Yeats, colleague and lodger rolled into one. Come to escort the wanderer back home. You are coming home, aren't you?
He is that.
Your Hilda's got the welcome mat already. One little word of apology and all your troubles are over, mate.
Well, I don't want no flowery speeches, you know. Just, I'm sorry, Chuck, that's all. I don't bear grudges.
No, Stan. No, mate.
No?
I don't think you've got it quite right. You see, she thinks you're going to apologise to her. I mean, that's the message she give you.
Apologise to her? After what she said to me? Not flipping likely. And you can tell her so.
Well said, Stan. Come on, I'll make you a cup of tea.
Thanks, love.
Morning, Mrs. O.
Oh, morning.
It's a bit early for one of them, innit?
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd try one to cheer myself up, but I don't fancy it now.
Ah. Well, if you're not going to drink it, pity's a wasted, isn't it?
Place is that quiet without Stan.
Not that he ever said that much.
No, funny that. But he breathed a lot. You know, I used to hear him from the kitchen, panting away while he poured his beer. I suppose that's why I got that out this morning, really, you know. House didn't seem the same without a bottle on the table.
You should have gone and get another one.
No, I got them in for Stan. I mean, he could be back today.
Well, I wouldn't count on it, Mrs. O.
Eh? Why? What do you know?
Oh, nothing. Only, you know, Stan. Never do today what you can put off till tomorrow.
You do know something, don't you?
Well...
You've seen him, haven't you? Come on, what did he say?
Nothing.
Oh,
Honest.
Eddie, you're a worse lad than he is.
Well, it's my fault, really, Mrs. O. I've mucked it up for you.
Mucked it up, huh?
Look, I only wanted to help. So I went round to your Norman's chippy. And, well, I didn't know. I let it out about you wanting an apology.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, nothing, except your Norman hadn't told Stan, and Stan was on his way home until I let it out.
Oh, you great
Now,
bastard.
steady on, Mrs.
I
O.
ought to crown you with this.
Look, it's not entirely my fault. Your Norman's to blame, really. He couldn't have told Stan the conditions, could he?
Leave our Norman out of it. I'll deal with him later. Now, Luke, Stan were on his way home until you went and poked your nose in. Right, you can get yourself round there, and you can tell him from me, he doesn't set foot in this house until I do get me apology. Well, go on. And you can tell him that's final.
All right, Stan. How are you doing?
If you got a message from our Hilda, it'd go straight back.
Hilda, I haven't even seen your Hilda. I came all this way to see you.
Here, love.
Oh, smashing.
Get that down, yeah?
Stick it on Stan's account, will you?
Oh, don't you worry, love. Are you all right, Stan?
Great, love, great. You came all this way to see me?
Yeah, well, a fella's got to eat, Stan. I mean, everybody's got to eat. You know that. When are you coming home?
Don't start that again.
You don't think you're taking it a bit far?
Too far? Women always say they're treated unfairly, don't they? Well, I don't think they are. Who does the work? The man. You see more widows than widowers, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but where's it all going to end, Stan? You've been away a couple of weeks now.
I'll just have to rough it here, won't I? I mean, I've got stamina, you know.
More please, Stan.
No, thanks, love.
Oh, well, if you do, you've only got to ask.
Yeah.
I think she fancies you, that one.
Don't be daft.
Listen, from what I can see, you've got everything you want here.
Well, things aren't always what they seem, are they? I mean, I've made sacrifices here for my principles, you know.
Sacrifices?
Yeah.
What sacrifices are you making?
I haven't seen a football coupon for a week, have I? Or my United book.
Oh, yeah, very difficult. Oh, I can see the problem, Stanley. Mind you can't solve it, you know. Go home.
No, not even if it means another week without a coupon.
Oh, what the flipping heck are you doing here?
I'm sorry, Mrs. O, he's not coming.
What do you mean he's not coming? Oh, look, I've backed down so far on this thing, my chin's practically on the ground.
Yeah, well, it's his pride, you see.
What pride? I'm the one what's losing face.
Well, I know that, but what you've got to realise is underneath, Stanley's a very sensitive person.
I hadn't noticed.
Well, he is. I mean, he's well aware of the great step forward made by you not insisting on an apology.
So, what's he want me to do now, then? Kiss his feet?
Kiss his feet. Now, he just wants a public apology, that's all.
Oh, come again?
He just wants a public apology for you throwing him out, and then the whole thing's settled. He'll be sitting in front of that armchair before you know what's happened.
Will he, Eckers? Like, not on them terms he won't. Blooming cheek, what's he think I am? Look, the only other thing he'll get off me will be a clap round the back of the head.
Yeah, but I can't say I blame you, Mrs. O, so I'll just get a few of his things, and then I'll go and tell him.
Things? What things?
Well, you know, a coupon and his socks and things like that.
Oh, I'm very sorry. No, there's none of Stanley's things going out of this house. Not unless he's got the guts to come and fetch him himself.
Yeah, well, that could be difficult, Mrs. O.
I know. It's meant to be.
Right, well, I'll tell him. Do you know, I feel like a bleeding yo-yo. I think I ought to tell you, though, I don't think this is going to work.
Oh, it'll work all right. If there's one thing Stanley likes, it's his comforts.
Yeah, well, that's true. And that's what I mean, you see. She seems to be looking after him very well over there.
She? What do you mean, she? Our Norman's there on his own, isn't he?
Oh, no, there's a woman there. Not dissimilar to yourself, actually.
A woman? I didn't know there was a woman. What woman?
Well, she works for your Norman. Stays behind the counter. Hey, she's very generous. Do you know, she gave me a big plate full of cod, and I hardly know her. Ta-da.
Hello, you here again?
There you go, Norm, laughing your socks off just 'cause I've walked in. Do you know, sometimes I get the impression you don't really like me.
What gives you that idea?
Get my stuff.
Well, not exactly, Stanley.
What do you mean, not exactly?
Well, to be brutally frank, not at all.
How come?
Well, look, I spoke to your Hilda like I said I would, using all my Merseyside charm and diplomacy.
That must have helped a lot.
It didn't seem to, as it happened.
How do you mean?
Well, look, I put it to her that you were in need of this change of linen, not to mention you were missing your Manchester United book and your Pills coupon.
And?
And, like they say in the court, her answer is written on a piece of paper which I shall hand to the magistrate.
But she can't hang on to my things like that.
Well, she's not trying to, Stan. You see, the way she sees it is, if you want it, you go home and get it.
Ooh, sounds the right one, does your Mrs. Stan.
You know a plan, don't you? Get me down there and get round me.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, well, it's not going to work. If she wants me back there, I want an apology. Otherwise, she's got nothing coming.
You stand up for yourself, love. And if you want any washing and ironing done, just you bring it round to me. I'll not see you walking round mucky.
Thought you were going to make a cup of tea.
I'm waiting for the kettle.
Sounds like Ronnie Ronaldo out there, can you hear it?
Honestly.
So, that's what you want me to tell her then, is it, Stan?
Aye, with flaming knobs on.
Oh, you're back then. You want a cup of tea?
Go on, twist me arm.
You told him, did you, what I told you?
Oh, I told him, Hilda.
How'd he take it?
I think you shook him, you know. Taking that hard line, like.
Yeah, well, had it easy for too long, that one. Luke in all right, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Letting himself go, I suppose. Like always when I'm not there to wipe his nose for him.
He's looking all right, actually. Well, quite smart, really.
Oh?
Yeah, well, Edie keeps a motherly eye on him, you know. The woman in the chip shop, I told you.
Her.
The merry widow.
You are?
Yeah, well, that's what they call her around there, you know.
Why's that?
Well, I'll give you 3 guesses.
And she works in the shop full time?
Well, that's what they say, you know. Between you and me, I think there's a bit more to it than that. I think she's Norman's little bit of crumpet on the side, you know what I mean?
I see.
Well, rather him than me. She's all right, mind you, but a bit of a handful, I reckon. Anything with pants, know what I mean? Give us a kiss and I'll buy you vodka.
Do I look like an alcoholic?
Not nice.
Pint of bitter?
You're a mind reader.
Well, come on. What's the latest from Shea Ogden?
Well, I'll tell you. It's hard, Elsie. Very hard.
On Stan or Hilda?
On me.
You?
Yeah, well, look. Stan's round at Norman's chippy, right? He's all right because he's stuffing himself full of carbohydrates 5 times a day. Hilda's all right because she's got her feet up because she's not siding up after Stan every 2 minutes. It's me that's the piggy in the middle.
How'd you work that out?
Because I'm the one that's been turfed out of house and home, aren't I? All on account that Hilda won't sleep under the same roof with one fella when Stan's away.
So it was you I heard?
Me?
Snoring under the viaduct last night.
Listen, it's no joke. I got so desperate I had to go down to Monkeys, and you've got to be desperate to do that. It's a good job I've got a head on my shoulders when it comes to this sort of thing.
So, what have you thought up, then?
I'm glad you asked me that, because I have got a plan to get them back together that can't fail.
Can't see it somehow. You as marriage guidance counsellor.
Don't mock, missus. It'll come to pass, and when it does, remember I told you so. Here, got you a bottle of brown ale, Mrs. O.
Oh, thanks very much. Very thoughtful of you. You're, managing all right, are you? You know, over where you are.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, even the fleas have fleas at Monkeys, you know. I don't suppose
No, I'm sorry, Eddie. I mean, we might not have much us Ogdens, but we've always had our standards.
Yeah, you're quite right. I mean, I admire you for it. There's not a lot of that about you know.
No, that's right.
That is the difference, you see, between you and her.
Her?
You know, Edie over at Norman's.
Oh, her. Hey, she don't live in, does she?
Oh, no. She's got a place of her own.
Oh.
Next door but one. Real little palace it is.
Oh, you've seen it then, have you?
Well, I went round with Stan, you know.
With Stan?
Oh, yeah. Watched the racing on the telly, you know. She's got this colour telly, you see. Stan uses it all the time. Well, I mean, it's very handy, you know.
Handy?
Yeah, well, you see, she's got the phone and all. So while he's studying form, she phones the bets through for him.
Oh, I see. All the comforts of home, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, she's a very generous woman. Well, so Stan says, you know.
Any other little service she's providing for him while she's at it?
Only doing a bit of washing, you know, his socks and his smalls and that.
He's never let another woman get her hands on his underpants.
Well, I don't think it was Stan's idea. I think she volunteered.
Oh, she did she? Right. We'll just have to see about that, won't we?
Where are you going, Hilda?
Out.
You're not going to get any wrong ideas, are you? Jump to any wrong conclusions, like?
Oh, I'll be jumping all right, don't you fret. With both feet. But it'll not be to any rotten conclusions.
Henry Kissinger, I've shot him.
Excuse me.
There's a queue here, you know.
Get away, and there's me thinking you was lining up for a direct free kick.
You'll have to wait your turn like everybody else.
It's not my turn I want, it's you.
Oh?
All right, where is he?
Who?
You know who I mean.
If I did, love, I wouldn't be here. I'd be on the stage, because I'd be a mind reader.
Oh, I've heard all about you. You and your colour telly.
Oh, you have you? And what have you heard?
Nothing I can repeat in polite company.
When am I going to get my chips and fish? I've a husband waiting at home.
Where's my husband? That's what I want to know.
How the hell do I know where your husband is? Where did you leave him? Bellevue?
Hilda, what are you doing here?
I've come for him.
He's not in.
Oh, aye. No prizes for guessing where he is, I suppose. Round at her house, I expect, parked in front of that colour telly.
Look, I haven't got all days to get back to work.
All right, keep your quarters fast and you'll get served.
Dee.
Well, I'm only human.
That's a matter of opinion and all.
Look, I'm warning you.
And I'm warning you. In future, you just keep your mucky paws off my Stanley's underpants.
Did she say underpants?
I don't know what it is she's talking... Do you know what she's talking about?
Look after the customers. Here, Hilda, come here.
All right, then. What is it you want?
What's the matter with you?
There's nothing the matter with me. I just want to know where he is, that's all.
He's not in. He's out doing a job for me. That's what he's doing. He's getting some newspapers for wrapping.
Will he be long?
No.
Right, I'll wait.
Hey, Edie, you little belter. Those 2 horses you gave me came up. £3 to come back, I could kiss you.
Oh, you could you, you great fat lump?
Hilda, what are you doing here?
Gooseberrying. Well, do carry on. Don't let me come between you and your fancy piece.
Look, I'm warning you. Just watch it.
No, give over. You're frightening me to death.
What's going on now?
It's not what's going on now. It's what's been going on between her and my husband down at that orderly house of hers.
What's now going on?
Oh, that's not what I heard.
Hilda, Edie Blundell is a respectable woman.
Oh, I dare say. And getting respected in ever-increasing circles from what I've been hearing.
By heck, you weren't wrong about that tongue of hers, Norman.
Oh, yes, and what else has he been saying behind me back? Me own brother.
He said, when you were little, the other kids couldn't believe you were his sister. They thought you were his mother.
No. Stanley, did you hear that? Did you hear what he's been saying about me?
You're out of order there, Norman, saying that about her.
Listen, I'll say what I like, especially in my own house.
Oh, no, you won't, mate.
Don't you take that from him, Norman. Coming here, living off the fat of the land, never offering a penny piece.
Shut your mouth, will you?
That's telling her, Stan.
And don't you talk to her like that.
Oh, you'll do what?
Don't get drawn in, Norman. If he hits you, call in the bobbies.
It's him. He wouldn't soil his hands on him, would you, Chuck?
True.
Come on, out, both of you.
Don't worry, we're going. And it'll be a long time before you see us again.
Good.
Come along, Stanley.
Ha! You know, Edie, it's a good job I restrained myself, that's all.
Back home then, eh? Where you belong?
Ah, that's right.
How did you manage it?
Oh, I know she would, but it's time we dig me heels in, you know.
Oh, yeah, works to put your foot down with women now and again, doesn't it?
That's right.
Oh, hello, Eddie.
Hello, Mrs. O. How'd you enjoy the brown ale then? All right.
The brown... Oh, yeah, well, to tell you the truth, I've not had time to open it yet.
Be all right if I bring me stuff round, will it?
Your stuff?
Yeah, you know, from Monkeys. Well, now Stan's back to act as chaperone like the problem's solved, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I've been meaning to have a word with you about that, Eddie.
Oh, aye?
Yeah, you see, well, ever since we got married, me and Stan have always been very close, haven't we, Chuck?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Only lately it's not been like that, you see. We seem to have been at each other's throats, like. Now, I've traced it back, and it all seemed to start when we took you in.
Why, what have I done?
Oh, nothing. No, it's not something you've done. Well, not conscientiously on purpose, like. No, but when you're highly sensitised, like I am, well, you learn to read these things, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know.
Well, you learn to read the omens, like, especially the bad ones. And you're a bad omen on us.
I'm a bad omen? I'm a bad omen? I'm the one that got you back together again.
Oh, no. No, it was fate working, was that. Kismet. I mean, me and Stan's kismeted to wend us way through life together, aren't we, Chuck?
Oh, definitely.
You mean you're not taking me back, then?
Well, you'll be better off at Monkeys. More your style.
Thanks a lot for nothing.
Nothing personal.
Oh, no, of course not. Remind me to buy you a drink at the next coven meeting.
You ready for your tea, Chuck?
When you like, Chuck, yeah.
Right, sit up then.
Yeah.
There we are. Your favourites.
Oh.
Anything wrong, love?
Oh, no. You're right. It's my favourite.